Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and today the Gunsmoke Frontline is back, and so I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at it now with Mechty. It's a little bit different now with Mechty, as Mechty can provide significant damage increase for your Klukai and Peritya when it comes to targeting this boss. Now, as we already seen with the previous one, that you're already able to do crazy damage to this boss with it. But now it's the same boss, but with Mechty, with increasing all that damage that your team can do to this boss. Let's go ahead and see how well we can see here, or how well we can do with her. Not much is different here, other than the fact now you have Mechty in the mix when it comes to building your teams. Originally, my best team was the Burn team mixed with Klukai, and that was because you could do a lot, like QJ and all them could do a lot of damage. With Mechty in the mix, my best team, I really feel like my best team is kind of it's kind of in a weird position. Like, I'm gonna have to see how much more she provides versus the Burn team, because with Mechty, you pair her with Peritya. I'm gonna go ahead and borrow the really good Klukai on this one. I'm gonna have to have Papa Shah. And so what this does is now you only have like a spot that's just a filler spot at this point. I don't have a specific unit. Like in the future, this is the team I would replace Papa Shah with Springfield in the future here. So I'm kind of getting to that Hydro mixed team. So I'm actually not 100% sure if this is going to out-damage the Burn team, because my Burn team is really, really good as well. But this is going to be adding Mechty to the mix. And you can't really, you really won't want to throw your like Tololo and Sharkry into this mix. You kind of want to keep them together with that Cinerisi, Sharkry, and QJ. So I think my first two teams are actually going to do quite a bit of damage now that we have a good healthy mix on it. And then the third team is just going to be my Ice team mixed with the borrowed Klukai in that. But just make sure that when you're building your teams here, you're kind of thinking about those support actions, as that's the most important part if you're borrowing a V3 or V6 Klukai for your teams. And so we do have, like, we have this one, the overwhelming support buff, so I know that one's going to the Burn team. So we're going to go ahead and just do this one, high explosive warhead for this. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. I think the last time I covered this, I covered it with the Burn team. So now we're covering it with kind of that mixed team. And so everything looks good here. Now the biggest thing is Mechty's in this mix, and so how you kind of want to order her. Now I'm not one of those people that's crazy on min-maxing this, so as long as you're like utilizing her and using her skills kind of in a good way, it's not going to be that big a deal. It's just like why I never take cover in this. I just keep them out in the open at all times, because it doesn't really matter ultimately. So let's just go ahead and get into this, and of course it puts the robot right in the wrong spot right off the bat. Let's restart that here and make sure it gets put. Big thing is you always want him to be open in the open area so that he is taking those hits to get that defense reduction. Okay, it does not want to. I'm probably going to have to switch them to the other side. It seems like once you've set it up this way, if you just do that, it usually works. This team doesn't really matter on their positioning, other than the fact we need... Yeah, there you go. We just need him to be able to get hit for that debuff. So I think the big thing here, first thing is coming in, I think, with my Mechty. Now, you have a 4-turn cooldown on the ultimate, so the big thing is you're going to want to use that first. You're only going to be able to use it twice within this fight, but get that out there. That gives you some damage increase. And then I think from here, we just go straight into Klukai here. Get her debuffs put on him as well before we use anybody else. This is a little bit different than the Burn team, where on the Burn team you kind of want to get your QJ going so that she can have her ultimate out, and then Sharkry, and doing it in that order to maximize damage. But this one works just as well here. Let's go back and forth. Man, Mechty adds so much more damage to Peritya, it's crazy. Come up here. We'll just put her here. I don't think this really... Which one does the most stability damage? Ultimately, all I care about here. Yeah, it's the first one. Okay, and then we'll go with you. Now, Tololo's not going to be as crazy of a damage dealer in this, but she does good damage on her own, so she's just nice to have overall. It'll be so much... Once we get Springfield, and she's able to go 3 times every turn, she's going to be crazy for this. Which one's... Yeah, it's not really going to make a difference here. Papa Shaw's damage isn't really anything to write home about. Okay, and then the next one here, I think we want to go with Mechty. We want to go with the first one, because this one has a cooldown, while this one has Confectance cost. And she right now is not maxed out on that, so I think we do this one for the first attack. And then we go into, rotate into that one, because this one has the Confectance cost, so we're going to be limited in how many times we can use it regardless. Man, the amount of damage they're doing is freaking insane. I mean, it is quite a bit, it is quite significantly bigger than what I remember doing it last time here. We're on, let's see, what turn is it? Yeah, we're on turn 2 and already down, going down to 82% here. Papa Shaw, let's just throw you here. Don't really matter where you go. Just keeping him alive. Ooh, did decent damage. I think that was a crit. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one we're doing, I think. Let's just go with the corrosion damage since we're getting a bonus. Yeah, Mechty's adding quite a bit to this team. I cannot wait till we get Springfield for this, because then your Tololo and Springfield are doing insane damage as well. The only thing you lose out on if you're fighting this boss with that team is you're not going to be, like, it's going to be a different boss by that point. You're not going to get that extra unit on the field bonus. Okay, so this one now, we're going to go with this. And let's go ahead, she gets to go again, basic attack on him. I wonder, are we going to be able, I don't know if we're going to be able to kill him, but we're going to get him quite low. But it's basically just rinse and repeat like we've done on the other one now. It's nothing too crazy, so we are that. Okay, your turn's over. Get that one again. Oh, didn't crit on that one. Cast ultimate again. But I think if I like built a solid, like, I'm trying to think of who I could replace Tololo with. Maybe if I brought my Macchiato, we could do a good chunk more. The problem with bringing the Macchiato on this one is it's going to really hurt my third team if I do that. And so, but I may try and do that. If we get close to killing him and we don't kill him, I may just try that for the sake to be able to kill him once, even though it'll hurt my third team's damage. Alright, so we still have 2 turns there. So we basically do this one again on her. Let's see, how do we want to approach this? Since we already have all the other debuffs. Let's actually go with yours first. I don't think this matters too much. It's not as important on the order as the burn team, making sure you get all the buffs on the other ones. As long as you've got it, got those initial, because a lot of the buffs last for 2 turns. Okay, go here. She's doing like 10k per shot right now. So the Peritya is doing basically 60k in just her support actions here on top of Klukai's. Which is another like 70k plus the dot. And I will say, I did get feedback on the last time I did this, but we're going to look at the damage between all the people at the end of this fight. So we're on turn 4 and already at 4,000 here. Now, looking at his health, he's at 55, so we are not going to be able to kill him most likely here. But we'll get super close, I think. Alright, so you can go with this one again. I think this should be our hardest hitting turn since he's broken and he's got everything on it. So let's see how much we take him down here. So 51, 48%. We're doing some decent chunks to him, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to kill him. But yeah, I think I've already passed my last one score on turn 5 here. Just throw him somewhere. Ooh, almost 20k with him. That's really nice. Come on, you can crit Palolo. There we go, 25k. Yeah, I think what? We'll get him probably in teens? Thinking. But it's crazy how much health they have on here. I mean, this is why and the thing is, they're going to get more health as time goes on. So even when we get our Springfield, and if you like V6 her and you do that full team, it's still going to be pretty tough. Unless you have the gear min-max, which is another thing. My gear is not min-maxed on my units. Now this is the borrowed Klukai versus my own, which theirs has got the R6 on the weapon. So they've maxed out the weapon as well on this Klukai. Which is the reason I brought it for my hardest hitting team. Yeah, without being stability broken in the other, it's a lot lower damage this turn. Oh, I should have used that first. That's not that big a deal though. I forgot her ultimate was coming up. I'm not gonna worry. I mean, the thing is, you're doing so much damage that this climbs. Once you get closer to the end to it, it climbs so much slower at this point. So if you make those minor mistakes at this point in the fight, it's not that big of a deal. Unless you're really trying to push it to a kill, which I'm not going to get close enough to a kill for it to really matter. But so, I'm not going to worry about doing that out of order there. Alright, this is going to be our last turn here. Yeah, we just did so much more damage on that one turn. I thought we would get a little bit lower. We're getting in the 20s, but that's about all we're going to get. Now let's go ahead and buff everyone up. Oh, yeah, and then basic attack. That breaks him. It's gonna be a hard-hitting one. Where are we gonna get him down to? 28, 27. Oh yeah, we're gonna get him about to the... I think we'll get him about to the teens, maybe? Maybe we'll get him in the teens. %20 left. 19% left. And extra turn. Got him down to 17. 16 there. And that is it. 45-70. Maybe if I fine-tune my teams a little bit better, I can actually kill him. And if I see that, I may try and record me actually killing him. But overall, I mean, it's a very minor point difference. I'm not going to concern, but that is pretty much it. That is the boss there. Let's look at the damage stats here. So with that, 61.94% of the damage from Klukai. I mean, look how much damage Peritya is now doing. I mean, the Tololo, she's doing some pretty hard hits. Nothing crazy there. And that is pretty much it. But yeah, that's the fight. And let me know if you like that or if there's anything you have on that. But yeah, if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.